While enjoying a successful career as a clinical psychologist, Kaveh Zamanian made a decision that would change his life. After much consideration, he surrendered to the allure of the bourbon industry.
I lived in Chicago and went to school in Chicago and met my wife, who's from Kentucky, about 18 years ago. Started coming down to Louisville in the early 2000s. And slowly got the bourbon bug and worked my way out of psychology into whiskey.
Kaveh is another Chicago boy like me. We hit it off back in the day when he was starting Rabbit Hole, looking for investors, and we just became friends. And you know, much like anywhere else, I supply and help Kaveh source special barrels and special product.
I've dealt a lot with brokers in the last 10 years. And for me, integrity is a big thing. And he's a straight shooter. And that's one of the things that I always love about him. Although, you know, at the same time, he's a really capable business guy, so he's no one's fools. So I've tried several times to try to lowball him on deals, and that's never worked. But you know, the one thing that stands out for me is the fact that, you know, I can trust him. We're in a golden age of bourbon right now, and everybody and their mother's trying to get in the business. And there's a lot of people that are kind of serving or acting as brokers, but there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. And with Jeff, you don't have any of that stuff.
Kaveh's Rabbit Hole has gone through an acquisition. They're owned by Pernod Ricard now, and I remember sitting there when Kaveh and I were talking about that transaction and just saying, okay, here's some things to look out for, here's some things to be conscious of. But Kaveh ran it. He did a great job with it. There's always unique situations where we may be able to offer some different opinion.
I'm always in touch with Jeff just because you know, he's got his finger on the pulse of what's going on in the whiskey market.
Kaveh's focus on innovation and transparency was validated recently when he was named to the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame, an honor that will continue to inspire him.
I was inspired by a very long tradition and heritage of whiskey making in America. I'm an immigrant, so as an immigrant to come to the States and be part of what is quintessentially American is just, honestly, it gives me goosebumps to think about it. Rabbit Hole, I'm able to leave a legacy that hopefully will be here long after I'm gone and be part of my adopted home. So the risk that I took was to come up with personal recipes, lay down these whiskeys, wait many, many years before we were able to take it to market. That's actually one of the reasons my wife kept referring to Rabbit Hole and taking the family down the rabbit hole, and that's how the name came to be, because it was a risky proposition. But in the end, you know, the dividend is that we have one-of-a-kind whiskeys that you can't find anywhere else.